everybody, we're here finally. Okay, sorry that was I was delayed by two different technical difficulties here this morning. So we are finally off and ready to go, which I am excited about. Good to be back with you here. My name is Corey Olson, the Tolkien professor. Welcome to Mythgard in Middle-earth, and I am joined, as always, by my friend Gryfflet, who is here trying to stand up on this rock to protect himself from the deer, the stags around this lake here up in the mountains have been persecuting him in the meantime. So he's trying to stay, because as you recall, we were in the middle of trying to collect herbs to calm the mind of Nar, the crazy dwarf, so that we can find out some information here. So that's let's see. No, hang on, I'm forgetting. Do I need to, for my other Enidwaith quests? Let me check my Enidwaith quests here. Where are we? Okay. Have I finished all the other? See, the weapon of old, right? I finished that. Fixed the guide's axe. Got the stuff there. Okay. Did the half orcs. Okay, all right. So we'll head back there before we go back to Nar there, and we'll finish up the story there in Nanuk. So okay, see if we can prevent Nanuk from joining the side with Saruman, because that'd be bad. Okay, so the Nijam Mujdu we're collecting here by the lake. Let's carry on looking around for more flowers. Picking flowers, avoiding aggressive deer. Uh-oh. That guy wants a piece of me. Okay. Alright. There's more. Here as we go around the edges. Hope we're not going to anger anyone. I find myself wishing that, as Gryfflet's going around the edge here, picking flowers by the edge of this lake, that somebody would just reach up out of the water and drag me down under, right? Not only because that would be a fun reference, but apparently this is like, that's the A1 technique, in the Tom Bombadil, handbook for like how to pick up women, basically. Allow them to drag you under the water and attempt to drown you. Propose thereafter. Yeah, Gryfflet heard that works. So this is okay. Oh, all right. I thought that deer was chasing me for a second, but he's not. Okay. Yeah, this is beautiful. I love the water here. Back in with ultra high on the graphics. It's really beautiful here. Mountains in the background over there. Yeah, there they are. Oh yeah. Great place here. Great place here. Okay. Let's see. Did I get them all? What do I need? I still need the Hulwul Haraz. Hulwul Haraz. Where is that again? Where's this stuff? Dunlanding clans. Okay. Probably have to knock over some Dunlandings in order to get this one. I'm thinking probably. Let's see. Where am I? Where are we going here? So, Hey, what's the name of that? What's the name of my quest there? Chapter 4. Right, of course, Chapter 4. Weird. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's in the different encampments here. Okay, alright. Let's go see if we can find some herbs in the possession of any friendly or non-friendly Dunlandings here. Okay. Let's see. Which way am I headed? Gonna keep myself oriented here. to mount up. It'll give me a fighting chance against the deer. Okay. Let me, before I take off there, let me see if I can start on a lore question. Of course, as you guys know, I always have a hard time doing two things at once, so I'll probably get distracted as I go, but that's okay. Where did I lost my lore questions? Where did they go? Here they are. Okay. Let's see. So here's one from Elvanui, who asks, question brought about by my Lord of the Rings audiobook re-listen. I just like to hear more about why Gimli was quite so enamored with Galadriel. It struck me this time how strange it was that he was so head over heels almost instantly. That's a great question. I'm going to suggest a non-cynical answer to that question, because there is, of course, a cynical answer to the question, which has to do with, like, because that's what Galadriel was trying to do. That is to say, there is some evidence that Galadriel is using some elf magic upon them in some ways, certainly in her communications with them and her what Boromir describes as tempting them. So that's a possible thing. Are they? Okay, the sentries. So I don't understand. It says that I have to go here, but the sentries don't have it. I don't get it. Never mind. I'm going somewhere else. Y'all can keep a lookout as much as you like. I'm going to go to a different Dunlanding encampment because you guys are no fun. And you don't seem to be carrying any herbs. However, like I said, I don't think that. Oh, and just on the subject of that, you remember when Boromir he's the one, of course, who says that it was almost like she was tempting us, right? And Aragorn immediately comes after him, right? Like, speak no ill of the Lady Galadriel. But I am not at all sure that. I'm not at all sure that Aragorn is right and Boromir is wrong there. It kind of seems to me that the evidence suggests that Boromir's outlook is perhaps in some ways a bit more balanced than Aragorn's there in that moment, because remember the comment that she herself makes to Frodo, right? Gently are you revenged for my testing of your heart at our first meeting, she says. The idea that she admits she was testing his heart, and like the line between testing and tempting can be kind of a fine one, but so, like, again, it kind of is what she was doing. She wasn't tempting them in the sense of really wanting to entice them to fall into evil or something. But she was doing very much like what Boromir was implying. But also the fact that she talks about being revenged of it, right, does also suggest that she, I found a Dunlanding who actually seems to have herbs. Right. Anyway, so again, the idea that this would be something of which for which Frodo would need to avenge himself suggests that she acknowledges that this could be seen as an intrusive or questionable thing that she's done to Frodo and his companions. But like I said, I'm going to suggest a non-cynical answer to the Gimli question, because I don't think that she is simply manipulating Gimli with magic. That seems to me a poor explanation of what happens, and kind of a sad explanation of what happens. I think it's something much more profound. On the one hand, it's comparatively simple, in that he is on edge. Remember, the context with Gimli. He's been brought. He objected to the blindfolding. He felt singled out. He can tell that the elves are hostile to him. Haldir and his brothers are unfriends to him. You know, they are unfriendly towards him, and it's so that on the one hand we have a really simple contrast there, right, between the suspicion that he had been encountering, that he's expecting to encounter, and which he does encounter from Celeborn, right? Celeborn is kind of hostile, you know, towards dwarves in general and Gimli in particular. And then Galadriel is sympathetic, but it's not just that he encounters kindness where he expected to encounter hostility. I mean, there is that, of course, but it's not just that. He encounters from her more than kindness, understanding. Like it's to use a slightly to me incongruous phrase. He meets Galadriel and finds that not only is she not an enemy, she is something like a kindred spirit. You know, her use of kindred spirit, of course, I'm thinking of Anne of Green Gables. I've been watching the miniseries with my wife, and I'm actually my family's going to Prince Edward Island this coming week as on vacation, which is why I won't be here next week. So I have kind of Anne of Green Gables on the brain, so I'm thinking of kindred spirits, which is, again, kind of slightly incongruous, thinking of Anne of Green Gables and Gimli together at the same time. But let me see if I can pick this guy's pocket. They've been spotting me. Here we go. And come on, failure. So embarrassing. But yeah, so his connection with Galadriel is deeper. And you know, the admiration he feels for her is very sort of to him unexpected. How to explain him being sort of smitten by her to the extent that he is, you know, and you know, Gimli's relationship with Galadriel is kind of complicated, you know, in some ways. Like, on the one hand, it's a lot of, I mean, in my podcasting years, you know, I've encountered lots of people who really like joking about, you know, making jokes about Galadriel and Gimli, you know, and you know, innuendos, you know, there, but and it's, you know, don't get me wrong, like, it's funny, like, I acknowledge that that's funny, but it's really hard to quantify. On the one hand, it's clear that, like, this is there is a romantic element in his attraction to Galadriel. Like, he is smitten with her. He speaks of her in the way that, like, that like an Arthurian knight speaks of his lady, right? And nowhere is that more explicit than in the conversation that he has with Éomer, right? The way that he defends, you know, the honor of his lady, the way that he is ready to go into combat against anyone who will speak evil of her, and then most explicitly, you know, the whole, like, anybody who will not acknowledge her the fairest of ladies. That is straight out of Sir Thomas Malory, you know, that, like, that, seriously, Gimli, you're going to get into a fight about, like, whose lady is most beautiful? I mean, like, that's completely Arthurian right there. So there is definitely from Gimli's end, you know, a sort of a romantic angle, but there's no question of this actually being, you know, he doesn't have any plans, you know, to move ahead, you know, into a romantic relationship. He's not wooing Galadriel or anything like that. You know, there's no sense of inappropriateness. Oh, no, hang on a second. I thought I was done, but neither of those two had any herbs? Come on, man. Seriously. Anyway, you know, let's make with the herb dropping, people. Can we do that? So yeah. So anyway, like I say, their relationship is kind of complicated. And I think thinking about it in those kinds of Arthurian terms, the kind of Arthurian terms that the story, I find, really strongly suggests, is a okay. All right, we're done with those herbs. Let's go back to Nanuk. Yes, let's do that. And let's talk to the Brennan's Council, and we'll finish up that plot line, and then we will come back to Nar and continue along that line. Okay. So again, this is all coming back to that question of like, how can I explain not just the suddenness of Gimli's conversion, but the thoroughness of Gimli's conversion, right? How he goes from being hostile to being enamored of Galadriel in the way that he is. One thing that I would say, let's think back for a second over Gimli's character. Does he, in fact, is it fair to say that Gimli begins as hostile to elves and then comes around? I mean, he's at odds with Legolas. But how hostile? He is the recipient of hostility. He's the recipient of hostility on the part of the elves, right? On the part of Haldir, again, Haldir and his brothers especially. We see him being affronted by how they treat him. What evidence is he? I mean, he clearly distrusts the elves. You know, there's the whole, like, I have not heard that it was the fault of the elves conversation, that, you know, debate that he and Legolas have. And Gandalf being like, I have heard both. But I don't, but again, it doesn't seem to me fair. So he distrusts them. He doesn't like them, maybe. But I'm not sure it is quite fair to say that he's hostile to elves. So that may perhaps, oh yeah, no, this is the right one. It may perhaps be a little bit unfair to suggest that, that Gimli goes from being actively anti-elf, from being very hostile, to being enamored. Milthalia says he seems like he's responding to how he's treated. I think certainly in that moment, when he's on, the Talon standing in front of Galadriel and Celeborn, that's very much his situation. This is not a, like, I'm grumpy and I hate elves kind of situation, but rather like, I'm being persecuted. Like, I'm being discriminated against. I am receiving hostility, and he's bracing himself to receive more hostility as he's just received from Celeborn, when all of a sudden, instead of receiving hostility, he receives kindness and understanding, and she reaches out to him, right? And that, I think, is where that's the sort of the big effect that we see with from him. So I don't think this is a, like, I've always been a lifelong elf hater, but now I love Galadriel. But rather, I was expecting her to verbally beat on me just like her husband had just been doing, and all of a sudden I see, wow, okay, no. And then he looks at her and he sees her in a different light. There is, Natasha, as you're suggesting, the historical mutual mistrust between elves and dwarves. But that seems like kind of a baseline thing with Gimli. I mean, he has it, and you can see it flare up in his debates with Legolas prior to Lothlorien, but it doesn't. There doesn't seem to be real active animosity on his part. As we see it. And again, if you can think of counterexamples to that, let me know. I mean, I may be forgetting bits. I'm trying to kind of review it in my head on the fly here as we go. Anyway, okay. Let me answer this, and I'll come back to Galadriel a little bit more. All right.
What is your purpose here, Dubodiard?
Yeah, right. Those, because this is the guy who is interested in those other places that got burned. Yep. Sorry about that. I can confirm they're getting destroyed. Things are getting ugly out there.
What is your purpose here, Dubodiard?
To hand you back your father's axe. There you are. Yeah. Good. We of the Occluth should be our own people, not servants of some power-hungry wizard. That's right. And you should be friends to itinerant hobbits and rangers. Okay. Oh, no, not you. Excuse me, Brandon. Just going to talk to these guys here.
As long as the sun shines, you are welcome here.
Thank you. As long as I keep killing half-orcs, apparently. Yep. We have little doubt that these raiders owe their allegiance to Isengard, but that matters little if they force us to concede to Saruman's demands. Right. Oh, nice. So you're, I was talking last time, it seemed an odd strategy, right? So this is your theory about the strategy, Mr. Who am I talking to again? I'm talking to Shoris Brehur. Okay. Right. Good. Yeah, he thinks that the half-orcs are coming to pressure them. So Saruman's not pretending, right? He's not pretending to be their friend. He's doing a show of force at the same time to compel them. Okay. All right. You have bought us some time and shown us the strength of the Northmen and North Hobbits. I shall try to convince Glen Brennan to remain neutral for as long as we may. Okay, thanks. Appreciate that, yeah. Okay. Right. They do hunt at night. Okay, sorry, I had no idea what she was saying there for a second. Good. So, right, oh yeah, the ones I found, right, the helmets and the things. Yeah, I totally can prove that they come from Isengard. Yep. Neither I nor any among my fellows who dare count themselves men shall speak in favor of this emissary from Orthanc. Oh, good. You don't know what the future holds, but it may be that in a season's time all of Enedwythe shall be burned and barren, but at least we shall die as stalwarts and not as cowards. Okay, that's kind of a good attitude, so I approve. All right. Okay, hey, look at that. Increasing in rep, what do you know? All right. Okay, Mr. Seneschal. Yeah, let's do that. Let's watch the deliberations.
The Brennan's council at Nanuk gathers even now to decide whether to join their brethren to the south in allegiance to Isengard.
Okay.
They are a proud, isolated people,
right,
who will not bend easily,
good,
even when threatened by the power of the traitor Saruman.
Good, not bending easily. That would be good.
Greetings. Will you remain here long?
No. I won't remain here long. Okay, the council's prepared. Good. You don't know what will transpire, but rumors continue to be bandied about. Okay. I've spoken with many of the Brehur. Please remain in the hall, should one of them wish to call upon you for testimony. All right, good. Yeah, no problem. I'm here to testify. All right. Oh, sorry. Let the council of the Brehur now gather to discuss the offer or treaty proposed by Isengard in the name of Saruman the White. You call forth the emissary of Isengard to speak on behalf of Isengard. Okay. Oh yeah. I don't want to stand next to you. I'm standing over here. You are Gwilhum, emissary of Isengard. Okay. You come bearing the honor and goodwill of Saruman in the form of a most generous offer from the Grand Tower of Orthanc, Jewel of Isengard. Oh, I like that. Orthanc, the Jewel of Isengard. Yeah, that's cool. Okay. Oops, sorry, we're saying something. Let us hear what Isengard has to say on this eve and weigh its portent. Okay, let's weigh the portent of what they have to say. Let all present bear witness as Isengard offers its sovereign protection to the peoples of Enedwythe. Protection from what? From whom are you protecting anybody? You offer pacts of trade and commerce that shall enrich the folk of this isolated country? Oh, come on now. What was once known as the Great North Road shall be rebuilt in anticipation of such trade. Interesting offer. It shall reconnect your people with their brethren in the main of Dunland, who have already wisely chosen to offer their allegiance to Saruman. Aha. In regards to the barbarous forces besetting this tranquil region, Isengard... Who are the barbarous forces? You're going to thwart any aggressor, though they ride from the south under the banner of the Horse Lords? Oh dear. Or infiltrate from the north through the devices of the Dunedain? Oh no, that's... You're beset with many evils against which you are hard-pressed to defend. We're not among the evils. We're not infiltrating. I kind of am, but I'm benevolently infiltrating. Some would grasp at what you offer without ken of the price, but you have, little to give. Okay. What is it that Isengard would ask? Yeah. Saruman asks that the Brennan of Nanuk accept the sovereignty of Isengard over his realm, extending in the main to matters of trade beyond its borders, to control of the Great North Road, and levy of troops. Okay. All other matters shall remain the province of the Brennan. Okay, so just give up your sovereignty. No big deal, right? Who cares for your roads or your caravans? Yeah! You speak against it. Few enough are the peddlers and bards who disturb our doorstep, much less the merchants of the south. That's right, yeah. Repair the road. More people going to come? I doubt it. Build it if you wish. I do not think many will come to so poor a place. He sees through your empty offer. A road may change many things. Yeah, it may bring your armies up here to kick their butts more quickly. The world Saruman envisions shall have a great many roads and much industry to move upon them. Nice. Nice. Oh, yeah, Saruman, the voice of progress. I like it. A wizard's fantasy, if ever I have heard one. Aha. Oh, excellent. Yeah. The road is there. Let Saruman rebuild it if he wishes. Okay, yeah. This matter of a levy is no small thing. Okay, yeah, so are you going to levy? You're going to levy soldiers, right? You're going to make... We are no great empire to spend our sons on far battlefields and count not their loss, nor are our cattle cheaply given. That's right. Yeah. You wouldn't ask to give them cheaply, yet war is stirring. So give them dearly? That's the idea, right? The horse lords are of divided purpose, though their king may yet see wisdom and sign a pact with Isengard. Ah, the horse lords are divided. Got to find out about that. Still, rumor now whispers that the king's own son plans his overthrow as he burns with desire to bring war across the Isen. Uh-oh. Wow, gosh, that sounds horrible. Should this come to pass, we will need all our strength to halt them, lest we lose these lands even as you once lost the flowing plains of Rohan to their brutal aggression. Oh, man. Disturbing news. You would send aid to our brothers in the south against the horse lords. If Isengard can relieve us, then I may be willing to put aside the pride of our people. No, this is not a good idea. They can be dealt with swiftly. Such rabble as threatens your land is of no great moment before the strength of Isengard. Well, then why do we need your help? I wager the mere announcement of our pact will be enough to frighten such brigands from your land, lest they face Saruman's wrath. Right, the ones that you have up here that you've hired? Aha! I would join your wager, for what brigand or soldier would dare to disobey the orders of his master in such a matter? Oh, ha, ha. Yeah, very good, very good. Forces of Isengard are as loyal as may be to the word of Saruman, but I don't like the tone of your voice. I don't think she was implying at all. I think she stated that pretty clearly. That's right. She speaks what they suspect. These are not simple brigands and wolves that beset our lands of late. Absolutely. They wield blades forged in great number. They fight like soldiers. The wargs slaughter man and beast alike and yet take no carcass. Perhaps you face mercenaries sent by the lords of the west. Yeah, they're so decrepit they're paying mercenaries to just come and randomly ravage Enidwythe. Yeah, that's a good plan. It's very likely. Very plausible. All right, we're going to get some clear speech here. Lay it down. You choose to call them raiders sent from the mountains of north of Isengard to force our hand in this very council. They become at the behest of Saruman himself. That's right. Yeah, she just said Isengard sent brigands hither, and we've got proof, man. I didn't go kill all those half-orcs for nothing. You'd make such a claim against he who leads the Order of the Wizards. Was watched over these lands for years like a father. Oh, I love it. I love it, the benevolent. Benevolent and wise. Yeah. Okay, produce the proof. I know you've got it because I gave it to you. Oh, no, I still have it. Bring forth the evidence. Yeah, though it would have been more effective if you'd brought it forth, to be perfectly frank. But okay, no problem. I've got evidence. There we go. Okay, what is that? Oh, it's the shield. No. It's the sword. Okay. And it's the helmet. Right? Didn't I collect helmets? Here we go. Yeah. No. What is that, armor? No, that's a helmet. Yeah. With the white hand. Okay, yeah, that one's a little more damning. Alright. Claim that Saruman sent forces against his own people? Oh, just Saruman offers peace. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. We are not subjects of Isengard yet. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Rumors of half-orcs who have come into the employ of Isengard. Well, employ, yeah. Sort of yes and no on the employment business. Isengard has made many powerful alliances, even with those who have long been isolated and hounded by the old powers of the West, namely orcs. Interesting. So we're starting to do a PR spin on being allies with orcs. Interesting. Okay. He doesn't want to offend the emissary. We're all, yeah. Were you going to apply, Wilhelm, or are you just going to huff about it? Don't forsake the alliance upon the word of this devotee. See, Gladys, that's what I was saying. If you had produced them, now he's going to say it's all my fault. That's right. We creep about, seeking out weaknesses, sitting by campfire, separating friend from friend. Oh, yeah. Boy, we're a divisive kind of group, we wanderers from the north. The word of a devotee against the word of Saruman in a matter most dangerous. How can we settle this? That's right. Deeds speak unfailingly. Yeah, I've been fighting for you. What's he been doing? Huh? Yeah, you can't place your trust in this emissary who has nothing but words. That's right. I've given you deeds. I killed 12 half-orcs, so there. You wish nothing more than to join the battle of my countrymen in the battle against the horse folk. We can't agree on that. But you cannot honorably fight beneath the banner of Saruman after he's wronged so many people. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Okay, so this is kind of win-win, I guess, or win-lose. Okay. Let them fight their wars elsewhere. All right. Yeah. That's right. That's right, Glenn Brennan. I think this is going well. I think we're all in agreement here. Saruman does not ask, he takes. Yeah. You will not take part of it. Okay. Cool. Okay. I think... Oh, no, wait. This matter has been most wrongfully decided. Well, the Brennan hasn't actually said anything yet, dude, but, I mean, yeah. I've pretty much swayed the whole council against you, so poison your ears against the wisdom of Saruman. Well, yeah, in a manner of speaking. And whose wisdom is it that has led us to this? This council has deemed your words false. I cannot gainsay them. Boy, you're kind of a weak leader, Glenn Brennan. Come on now. Show a spine. What offer can you make us that we must not reject? Where are you even going with this? Okay, you do not see how our situation has changed in the slightest. We understand each other more clearly now. Ah, you've confessed all. We have outmaneuvered you. Okay, you offer alliance in protection in exchange for alliance. We have to modify your terms to reflect the new understanding. Oh dear. Okay. You should you refuse them, I can assure you that Isengard's next offer will be far less lenient. Okay. All right, not decided in this quaint council chamber. I get you. Active threats. No need for further threats. Yeah, he gets it too. Okay. Saruman's purpose is clear to me now as his arrogance has grown with his power. Yeah, that's right. Countrymen of Dunland were beguiled, but I see that he moves too surely now, believing none will dare to deny him. That's right. The advance of Saruman stops in Enidwaith. He shows his hand too early. Okay. We shall hold here. For your accomplices will soon be called to the south. That's right. We're not even in your way, man. We're on your northern frontier here, so... Saruman's lust for conquest betrays his intent. Oh, man. That's right. You no longer believe in his strength. Now, that's interesting. I thought you were doubting only his integrity. But now only his words have power, whereas others we have met of late have shown us the strength of their deeds. Okay, right. So I'm stronger than Saruman, basically. Gryfflet versus Saruman. I got it. The horse folk, for all their villainy, have always been a people of deeds. You think they're gonna... Nice. You think the Rohirrim are gonna beat Saruman, huh? All right, I'll take that bet. That sounds good. I'll back you on that. The power of Isengard is greater than you imagine. And there are other powers. Okay. Are you gonna show us one other thing? Okay. The fate of those who defy the will of Isengard. Oh dear. Who are you gonna attack? You gonna attack me? Huh? You want a piece of me? Ah, yeah, you do. Gryfflet will pay for his besmirching the honor of my Lord Saruman. That's what you think. Come on. Oh, yeah. Let's do this. Come on here, Tiny. Oh, yeah. What do you have? I think you've got nothing, is what I think. Boy, that was not even... Exactly, right. Pretty pitiful, wasn't it? I mean, I'll try not to take that personally, but, you know. Yeah, I get it. Okay. Hey there.
What
Brennan.
is your purpose here, Devodiard?
Should the Horse Lords fall to the forces of the White Hand, Saruman will have armies to spare to deal with our refusal of his demands, and I shall have little choice but to swear our fealty to Isengard if he allows me to live at all. Tell your Devodiad friends that they may pass through our lands, and we shall offer them no aid upon their way. Okay. All right. I get that. Enough. Be gone. All right. I'll be gone. Cool. I really like that instance. And wow, boy, do I need to see a Forge Master. But I really, really like that instance because it the arguments that the emissary of Saruman makes are really, really interesting, right? To sort of show the outlook of Saruman. In particular, I was very interested in that business about the orcs, right? The implication of like those that have been slandered and isolated by the lords of the West, right? To the way that he was working around to say like, oh, the orcs who seem like enemies to you, right? Just because they're awful and would kill you as soon as look at you, they're victims, right? They're the victims. In fact, they have been made what they are by the enemies, by your enemies, right? You are both victims of the Lords of the West. That's a really, really neat place to go. Argument for him to make. You sort of see how he's trying, because of course, if they do join, right, they're going to be fighting alongside orcs and half orcs, and he's got to prepare that. He's got to explain that, and I think that's a really fascinating move for them to be making here in the game as we're examining more deeply what Saruman's approach would have been in Dunland. What would it have had to be? I think that's a really important question, which never really gets answered in the books, right? Because we never really learn what the Dunlandings are thinking. What what's going on with any what's going on behind the scenes between Isengard and Dunland. All we are told about that is that they hate the Rohirrim, and so he makes an alliance with them. And of course, we got a lot of that in that debate. But the business about the orcs is a serious challenge, and moreover, the fact that he what was I going to say? The fact that the business about progress, right? That Saruman envisions a brighter future in which they're gonna remake the roads, and everyone's gonna be richer and more prosperous, and we're gonna be advancing forward, right? That's a really, really neat argument, I think. Very, very Saruman-like.
It is not our custom to trust Devodiard, but perhaps you may be of help to me?
Okay. Let's see. It appears I've brought great strife to our lands. No, I didn't. Man, the emissary of Saruman brought strife to your lands. I'm trying to help you. Don't put that on me. You may wish to move on before too many of our people blame their woes upon your name. Well, that's kind of unfair, but okay. The southern road through Enedwythe passes through the area known as the Witch Bluffs. This grim land is the ancient burial ground of the Algried clans of Dunland and Enedwythe. Those lands have long been accursed, but rumor holds the outsiders have foolishly built a camp near its bounds. Okay. Go warn them of the danger. That's right. Dead people are around. Be careful. I will make sure to note that. Okay. And then, what are these, just repeatable quests? go kill 12 more orcs if you want to.
You are a Devodiad from distant lands. I am not sure what help you can be.
Well, you know, I was just some help in that debate. Okay, all right. We got to go back to Nar now. Okay, first we got to go to a Forge Master. Then we got to go back to Nar. Yeah, exactly, Matthias. We get those references that he convinces them that the Rohirrim, you know, burn their captives alive and stuff. But see, that's not about why. That's not an answer to the question, why should you join me? That's it's brought up in the context of oh, wait, hang on a second here. Damage multiplier, yeah. Thank you. And we're adding a legacy. Pulse modifier for glee. Oh man, pulse modifier for glee. I still have no idea what that means. Do I use clever retort? Is that a thing I use? I don't even know the names of my skills. I'm really bad at knowing the names of my skills. Is clever retort a red line skill? Or is that like a blue line skill? Or what's clever retort? I don't even know. Well, still. Tempting though it is to get pulse modifier for glee. Yeah, exactly, JJ. The business about burning their captives alive is why you shouldn't parley with them. They believe that like they should give the Rohirrim no quark. Basically, this is why you should always fight to the death against the Rohirrim. Basically, because oh, it's in yellow line. Okay, thanks, Pine Leaf. Yeah, so I'm really not using either one of those, but that's okay. Anyway, so yeah, so when because that comes out, of course, right? When the Dunlanding captives are spared after the Battle of Helm's Deep, and the Dunlandings, are all surprised about that. Hang on, let me. I gotta rank up my legendaries here. Okay, no, that one's good. Which is this one I have equipped? Yes. Okay. A little incoming healing, right? Let's see, what else do we need? Ooh, yeah, coup de grace. Sneak movement speed. Oh yeah, all in sneak movement speed. I want all of the movement speed. Absolutely. Okay. And then give me one of these, and that's enough. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right. So we're ready to go. Why do I have that one tracked? I'm tracking the wrong. No. That's not what I want. Hit the wrong thing. I want this. Because this is what's equipped, right? My burglar's dagger, yeah. So track this and untrack 10. Yeah. There we are. Okay. So glad I got that fixed. All right. So yeah, that was a really thoughtful argument. And of course, this is one of the really fascinating things about the whole Dunland escapade, right? The whole, all this trip through this whole region is, on the one hand, we're trying to befriend these people, right? And work with them and even get their assistance, if possible. Saruman is their enemy, right? We have a mutual enemy and all that. And yet, we can't get over the fact that they are the enemy of the Rohirrim, right? And so it's like, we make friends with them, right? We become their allies. Am I going the right way? Yes, I am. Okay. We make friends and allies with them, and then, they start bashing the Rohirrim, and it's like, that's uncomfortable. Yeah. And of course that will get worse before it gets better. But yeah. Okay. So let's head back out to Thor's Combe. And while we're going, I'll talk more about Galadriel. So when last we left my long and rambling answer to the lore question about Gimli and Galadriel, we had established, at least was suggesting that, so it's not a question of Gimli shifting from I hate elves to I love elves, or at least I love an elf, but rather about him accepting the fact or believing the fact that not all elves are hostile to him. So that's a significant difference. Hey, I think I've got a quest for you. Can I just say hi? Yeah.
What is your purpose here, Devodiard?
Just to let you know something. Yeah, I think I'm good for now. Yeah. Maybe I can help you another time, but I'm kind of busy right now with there's an insane dwarf. So I gotta go. But anyway, okay, so let's go back to Nar. Bring the list of ingredients. Yeah. Talk to Minjam and the Lich Bluffs. We'll get there. Make your way to Coronir in Zudagrund. All right, good, yeah. Excellent. Okay. Oh, don't want to go right through the dragon camp. Okay. I said we don't want to go right through the dragon camp. Okay. All right. But now the other thing to remember with Galadriel, and this is one of the neat things that really kind of comes out later on. I say later on because it's primarily not just in the appendices, but in the revision work that Tolkien did after writing The Lord of the Rings. So if you read the big chapter on Galadriel and Celeborn in Unfinished Tales, okay, you see the directions in which his thoughts about Galadriel in particular were moving in the post-Lord of the Rings years, right? As these ideas are developing and he's sort of expanding some ideas and clarifying some other things, he has some sort of different ideas about Galadriel. And one of the things that he really chooses to accentuate as he moves forward is her relationship with the dwarves. And in particular, we have, he positions Galadriel as one of the elves who got the log. Yes, one of the elves who was most willing to work with the dwarves from the beginning, and in particular during the relation that, like, basically the positive relations between the elves of Eregion and the kingdom of Khazad-dûm was Galadriel's doing. That she really established that. The reason there was friendship between elves and dwarves back in those days was Galadriel's initiative entirely. So, thank you, Melindrin. I know that was kind of a big deal, right? I made it right over that log on horseback, right, I would add, without Rivendeling it. But of course, I didn't make it around the corner without breaking my ankle. So, you can't win them all. Anyway, yeah, so he invents this sort of back history for Galadriel in her history of friendship with dwarves. And she is a Noldor, and the Noldor have more in common with the dwarves, sort of from the beginning through their relationship with Aule the Smith and their sort of similar enthusiasm about smithcraft and making things. And remember, she's the only Noldor. The Sylvan elves have least in common with the dwarves. So that means, Legolas's people and of course the Galathrim. So she's the only Noldor around, right? She's the only Noldor in Lothlorien or Mirkwood. And so the fact that she would, look at the dwarves differently and think of the lords differently is understandable under the circumstances. Oh, hey, Coronir, yeah, I've got a quest to come to you, even though I was already here. Oh, too far away. Come on now. Why do you let me open the dialogue box if I'm too far away? We move for Dunland. Well, we're not done here yet, though, and we must endeavor to sneak past Isengard without rousing the suspicions of Saruman. The journey will be dangerous. Of course, I'll join the Dunedain once again, but we're not done here yet, Cornier. So as soon as we're done here, we'll move on to Dunland. So let's all agree to hold our horses, shall we? So you just stand there and hold your horses for a while, because I'm not ready for book 4 yet. Okay, there's the crazy dwarf. Anyway, but again, the reason I bring up all this stuff about Galadriel and the dwarves is that it kind of shows you the direction that Tolkien's own mind was going with Galadriel. So I'm not trying to say that this is Tolkien's own answer to the question that I was just asked, because that would be presumptuous of me. But it certainly seems this line of thinking that Tolkien was developing after, writing The Lord of the Rings and continuing to work on this stuff, shows that he was the like-mindedness, the connection, the sympathy between Galadriel and the dwarves, and therefore from Galadriel to dwarves, is something that he was emphasizing, that he was sort of pumping up rather than suppressing it or something like that. So again, I don't know if we can say fairly that this is Tolkien's answer to the question, why is Gimli so taken with Galadriel? But it's certainly relevant to the question. Why does he like Galadriel so much? What does he see in Galadriel? It's not just that, he's sitting there saying, oh, she's so dreamy, right? I'm now sexually infatuated with Galadriel. It's not just that. She is beautiful, right? And not just physically, not just as a sexual object or something. She is idealized in this very sort of medieval courtly love way with him. And again, remember, with the whole Arthurian thing and stuff. But at the same time, she is the most dwarvish elf that he's ever met. And that element, that she knows the secret name, she knows the names, and the fact that she would go out of her way to speak the names, not only that she would know the dwarf names, but that she would speak the names in the dwarf language, shows a kind of sensitivity and sympathy to dwarvish sensibilities that he was not expecting, right? And that connection, that dwarvishness of Galadriel is the thing that Tolkien goes on to emphasize. And so I kind of take that as, in a sense, at least potentially Tolkien's answer to that question. Why is it that Gimli is so infatuated with her? Because he can see in her, he can sense in her this dwarvishness, right? This fundamental sympathy with the dwarves, an understanding of the dwarves, which transcends anything he's ever seen among the elves. And then that, in contrast, not only has he not encountered sympathy, he's encountered hostility. He's just now encountering hostility when he suddenly encounters her sympathy. And I think that contrast is enough to explain him being floored by her. So to me, that's enough to explain that. And then you add on the fact that she is in fact very dreamy, and there is something quite enchanting about her in that whole situation as well. So I think that these things all kind of come together, and the result, his sort of Arthurian commitment to her, his taking her as his lady, the lady in whose name he will fight and win victories and things like that, and whose honor he will defend, and whose preeminence in beauty he will defend with his axe in future. In the end, doesn't seem to me a real, too big of a reach. But anyway, all right. The dwarves' demise. Oh, I found a note. I forgot about this. Yeah, so I found a note. I've totally forgotten about the note that I found there. I'm not going to lie to you there, Frithgeir, but I'm glad it was worthwhile.
You have the ingredients.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Let's make the brew.
I will set about making the brew.
Good.
You do not mind waiting.
I don't mind waiting. Okay. An echo of days past. Let's do this. Let's echo days past.
It will be a few moments.
Okay.
while Frithger prepares the brew that will restore the sense of our host, an ancient dwarf who has lived long and seen much. Our company decides what should next be done.
Okay, my suggestion, and it's a humble suggestion, is to put the fire under the pot instead of inside the pot. You put the brew, the liquid, inside the pot, and the fire on the outside of the pot. It'll come out much faster. Just a little suggestion. The water is boiling. No, you're burning the water, man. You are burning the water. Look, I can see the smoke from here. You're burning the water. Okay, anyway, pungent odor, rather unpleasant. Okay. Meanwhile, go talk to folks. All right, let's see. Talk to Kuranir, Elladan, and Kalinglad. Okay. Where's Kalinglad? Anyone seen a bald ranger around here? Oh, Elladan. Hey there. Hey there, Elladan. I remember that time when I had your pants. You gave me those hand-me-down pants, which is cool. I guess the elves don't give a lot of hand-me-downs, but... Okay, so many books. I know, right? And none of them taken when Nar's people left them. You know, Elladan, I had not even been thinking about that, but you're completely right. It's clear that many dwarves once lived here, but where have they gone and why is a mystery, and why did they not bring their library with them? I suspect that even Frithgar's brew will not clear Nar's mind sufficiently for him to provide us with the answer we ask. Well, you know. Cave claws. Oh, it's the crazy guy. Okay, let's see. What a shame, I've misplaced my axe, and now he's crying. Oh yeah, so the image of Thror up here. Robert Brown was suggesting that yes, this, because it does look like the classic scepter and orb pose, right? So they do seem to be, he was supporting my theory that that's the mountain, right? It's the Lonely Mountain. So instead of holding the orb, which indicates the world, right? Like a human monarch, like Queen Elizabeth, he holds in his hand the mountain, right? I like that. Okay. Oh, and there's Halbarad. No, there he is, Kalinglad. Got your hood up there, okay. We're a long way from Evendim. I wonder how our friends are managing in our absence. I wonder if it's one of our friends in particular that you're thinking of. You're not going to bring me in for another awkward conversation, are you, Kalinglad? I understand why we have taken this brief excursion into the hills, for if Nona is satisfied by what we learn here, our dealings with the Ukluth should be made easier. But what can we really learn from this dwarf? Well, I mean, you've not tried the brew yet that I have, I spent a lot of time looking for those herbs. You don't know what to make of this dwarf. Where did all of his people go? Why would they leave him behind? And what could he have seen that might leave him so addled? Oh, well, man, I can tell you that. I know where his people went. I suspect why they left him behind, and I know what addled him. I mean, boy, this guy had a traumatic experience. Oh, well, yes, I suspect Nar would be hard-pressed to survive without him, but that's not very nice. Who's Hervin? Okay, hey, Halbarad. You've been listening to Nar's ramblings, and you've managed to piece together some of his history. Okay. He was once the servant or friend of Thror. Yes, of course he was, and that this was one of their homes in exile. Right. Thror did not return to Erebor, no. But it seems to me he made another journey. Yes, and Nar accompanied him. Oh, yes, he did. They came into danger, and... Oh, here comes somebody. Aha! Nona! Hooray! Oh, yeah. Oh, no, he's crazy. Don't take offense, Nona. You want answers for yourself. Your brother was changed after he came here, and this Nar knows why. He will tell me why, or it will go badly for him. That's true. He didn't try threatening him with violence, Nona. That might work. What did you say to my brother Wadu when he came here? Wadu, okay. Can he remember Wadu? We're going to see. He was a brave dwarf. Okay. She's all offended. All right, let's see. Here we go, Nona. No, this is going to help. Elladan is bringing over his popcorn here. All right. Okay. Callanglad still wants nothing to do with this. To your health. Okay. Let's see. When did you all arrive? Quick, he's lucid. Tell me what you said to Wadu. Wadu, I know that name. He went to the Fatherlode, where rang the sound of hundreds of dwarf hammers far below Zudrugund. I keep pronouncing that wrong. It is curious. I remember walking with Wadu among the great turning water wheels of the Old Father, but I have not seen him since. You tell Nar that Wadu has been slain, and his beard creases into a frown. That is a shame. He was most brave, wasn't he? I can take you to the mine. Okay. I'll go with you, says Elladan. Okay. Are you ready to go to the mine below? Yeah. Let's go. All right. Okay, Elladan, what do you think about this? Far beneath the earth, the feeling has been growing in your mind. You think someone or something has watched as we descended. Oh dear. Some intelligence has observed our passage. Something else has made you uneasy. Right, yeah. How long is he going to remain lucid? Truly a question to be asked. Just the stuff. Okay, come on, Nar. Quick, before it, rubs off. That's right. Push along here, Nar. Stop drinking and keep pushing. Let's go. Wait. The great wheel of the Old Father. All right. I'm beholding. Whoa! Bats. Yikes. I just get stunned by the bats. I did. It's kind of embarrassing. Listen to the sound of the hammers. Oh, man. We're losing him. You guys got that one or what? You need my help here? I got you. Got your backs on the bat front. Okay. All right, Nar. We killed the bats, which you didn't seem to notice. Yeah, why aren't they attacking him? Probably because he reeks. Oh, look. They're all attacking me now. More bats. Oh, goody. Okay. Come on, you two. Seriously. Nona and Wadu would not have taken that long to fight all those bats. Okay. Just saying, Nona. You don't like this. Why do the bats not attack the dwarf? Because he reeks of that herb beverage. That's my suspicion. Wadu came into this mine full of fear and uncertainty. What happened here that he emerged from it with courage that would lead him to his death? The longer this journey takes, the more questions it poses. You want to be above ground in the sunlight. I understand. Hey, whoa. The braids of your beard are particularly well done this day. Yep, we're losing him, Elladan. Is it the smell of the brew that keeps the bats? See, that's what I've been saying, right? He seems to have exhausted it, right? Oh dear. There's a gate ahead, and if I've learned anything of dwarves, it is such a gate should certainly have a lever somewhere. Find the lever. Okay. All right, I'm gonna unlock the gate. Where's the gate? I don't even see the gate, much less the lever. Where's the gate? Gate over here? Oh yeah, this gate. Look at that. Okay. So the lever will be probably Elladan. If you want to look for a lever, got to go in the opposite direction also. See, look, there are cave claws over here, whose pockets I probably can't pick, on the monstrously sophistical grounds that they don't have pockets. Okay. Okay. Come on now, Gryfflet. Let's stealth up and see if we can get past all these guys. Doop-de-doo-doop. Well, that failed. Oh, it's a Gwyberling, huh? Cute little dragon guy. Okay. Alright, looking for a lever. Stealthily. Oh, ramp. Ramps are promising. What is that? Oh, it's a mine cart. Right. Lever? No? Lever? No? It's a likely place for a lever over here. Where did this go? Where was... Huh. I'm trying to figure out where this track used to go to. Alright, maybe it's not up here. We'll keep looking down here. Alright, that's where we came from, so... Let's see. Over here. Any levers? There's the door down there. Okay, let's see. Alright, we got another winding tunnel. That seems promising. On the principle that the dwarves who constructed this would obviously put the lever that opens the door in the most inconvenient spot they could possibly find. How do we get up there? What's going on here? Okay, huh? This looks promising. Ah-ha-ha! A lever! Yes. Okay, guys. I'm coming. The fast way. Not fast enough, apparently. Where'd you guys go? Alright, well... Don't wait up for me or anything. I'm just finding the lever. Hey, Elladan. Where is everybody? What's going on? Nara gave a shout and ran forward, and we didn't want to lose him. Okay. Am I following you? I think I am. Man, Elladan, you're in a hurry. Why have you brought us here? Roast mutton. Oh dear. It's worn off. Woo! What was the body of this Gwyber supposed to tell me? Look at this dragon here. Now he was a burned dwarf. What, the roast mutton? No, the Gwyber. The corpse of the mighty Gwyber. I saw him face many a fearsome beast, but none so deadly as that which lived beneath the earth. Did his heart quail? No, it did not. Okay. I care not for the exploits of some ancient dwarf. Hang on here. Read between the lines, Nona. Did his axe hand tremble? It did not. Alright. Elladan is gonna get collect some forensic evidence here, Nona. Okay. He's got the results of his inquest there. The wounds of this Gwyber were what? Still fresh. Dead for no longer than a week. Courage rose unbidden, and he struck the beast once, twice, 3 times. These are sword wounds, not axe wounds. Dun dun dun. Nar is telling us 2 stories, not 1. Well, now turn around and listen. You're getting some excellent forensic analysis by the half-elf. I believe that a dwarf named Hervin slew a great beast beneath the mountains. But I believe, too, that your brother Wadu found his courage here in the depths and slew this great Gwyber. Yeah, that's a little more impressive, right, Nona? My brother, even after the terrible things my father said to him, and even after what I said to him in my frustration, he mastered his fear and achieved a victory that even the bravest and strongest warriors of the Ukluth could not hope to match. And now he's gone, slain by enemies who waited in hiding for him to pass, the cowards. They were nothing compared to this great beast, but they laid him low where even it could not. Oh, man. You know your road, son of Elrond. That way lies death. I know your road. What? I know your road. That way lies death. Treachery and deceit. Oh, man. You who walk the paths of the dead, beware. How can you know of these things? Oh, man. Oh, that's nice. Elladan just thought he had all the riddles figured out. Second from the left. That's what I heard. And slightly underdone. Uh-oh. We lost him again, Elladan. Can I tell you what just happened? Yeah, he suddenly waxed prophetic there, and I didn't get it either. How can he know the errand of the Grey Company? More than that, how can he know my father's words to my brother and me? How can he know we were considering taking the paths of the dead? Must tell Halbarad and the other rangers of this. I think things may have just become more complicated. All right. Yeah, let's all go upstairs.
The road of the Grey Company has brought us already over field and under stone, but a gathering dread has settled upon me here in Inetwife. Who is this dwarf now?
Yeah.
How can he know where our road might take us?
Good question.
I feel this question most sharply of all. Can we trust his words?
Okay. Okay. Woohoo! And I think that's me done with book... What is it, only book 2, I think, of volume 3? So let's talk to Frithgeir, and then I've got to go. Hey, Corin, you're still not ready for book 4 yet. Got to get to the bottom of this dwarfish matter.
Na has often said peculiar things. It is difficult to determine what he means by them.
The Rangers are disturbed by what Nar has said. Can you ease their minds? Yep, I will ease their minds. Oh, okay, no, I don't. We're good. I'll talk to Coronir and attempt to ease the minds of the Rangers here.
What can the dwarf have meant by that?
Okay. Coronir sighs and you realize it has become a familiar sound. Okay. It feels like we are mired in something we do not fully understand. We cannot afford to ignore this mystery. We must take a rest. Okay. All right. We'll figure it out. Oh. Yeah. That's not bad. Okay.
I do not like this.
How has Nar come to know of our potential road? That Elrond advised his sons to remember the paths of the dead. Well, no, he advised his sons to tell Aragorn to remember the paths of the dead, for we may have need to walk of them. Something is not right. Okay, so we've got to figure this out. All right. So I have a feeling we're gonna have to collect more herbs in order to do this. But okay, all right. So I gotta go for today. We finished book 2, so that's great. So we'll come back and see if next time I can do all of book 3. Will be my goal next time, to get to the bottom of the Nar mystery. So as I said, I'm not going to be here this coming week. I'll be away this coming week, but I will be back the week after that, and I should be here for many weeks in a row thereafter. So this is the last of my summer travels here this coming week. So thanks very much for joining me. Sorry about the technical difficulties at the beginning. I've stayed over a little bit here at the end to try to make up for that a little bit. But thanks for joining me, and I will see you guys in a fortnight. Bye now.